Yo, what is up guys, and welcome back to the channel. So we're going to make another video today. We're going to be reacting to top 15 scary stories, and I've got Mr. Cuddles here just in case it gets a little bit scary. Okay, so Mr. Cuddles, you sit and you watch, be a good boy, okay? Alright guys, so without any further ado, we are going to start recording in 3, 2, 1, let's go.
Sack delivery. Have you ever come across a video
sack
where
delivery?
you don't understand what's happening, but somehow it's seriously creepy? This video has been shared around the Indonesian internet community with no context whatsoever.
Whoa.
It appears to be apparent security footage
Because
from the
that's
porch
not
of a
freaky at
home.
all, is it? No, do you know what? We're perfectly fine. That's not freaky. We're not gonna get scared now. No way.
An unknown individual dressed as a clown carrying a sack that's covered in red walks up the porch steps.
Imagine that.
He's trying
you're just watching a film. You're watching, what do they call it? You're watching It, for example, and all of a sudden you see like some bright like coloured rainbow hair looking through the window, peeking through the window, and it's like, huh? There's a clown. Ah! What am I gonna do? Help me! Save me! Take Mr. Cuddles. I didn't mean that. I was just joking. You know that I was just joking. Oh, okay, I'm sorry. Okay, I won't joke about that again. Okay, he wasn't too happy with me. Let's carry on watching.
To send a message or possibly prank the homeowner by leaving the sack and knocking on the door. The clip being shared ends shortly afterwards, leaving everybody scared, wondering what actually happened. We were able to track the footage down to YouTuber Billy the Fridge, who wrote the surveillance tape is 100% real, no faking. In reality, this was probably a prank, but not before scaring 99% of people. Number 14, Lincoln City Cathedral Ghost. With only slightly more than 2,000 views, this haunted video deserves more interest. Posted in March of 2015 by YouTuber Renaissance 2001, the video shows a ghost outside Lincoln City Cathedral at night. As the church bells chime, the person filming the video spies something around the corner on the side of the building. It appears to be a little face as the person starts.
That happens every now and again, doesn't it? When you're just walking somewhere and all of a sudden you see this face out of nowhere. And it's like, whoa, you know what I mean? Easy. Like that would have been quite freaky though. Like, I mean, I would love to go and visit a castle. Castles is just so amazing. But being like at a haunted castle, man, how do you imagine how many spirits you could see? Like how many entities will be around? Like. So freaky. And castles go way back. Castles were built like years and years and years ago. Well, the majority of them anyway.
Panicking, getting slightly closer to try and capture what this is. The face disappears around the corner. He runs after to find nothing there at all. Absolutely terrifying, made even more so by the chiming of the bells. A reminder to feel for the lost souls who haunt this earth.
They're the worst. There was one time I was just messing about with my mates and we was like near this church, and this must have been like, I think it was like 12 o'clock at night, and like we were just messing around, and like cause someone said like, oh, this church is haunted, but we never believed. Like I never believed this guy. But we were just messing around anyway, just having a little chat. We was laughing and giggling and everything like that. And all of a sudden, you hear a bang, and then the church bells went off. I was like, "Let's get out of here. I'm not staying here anymore. We need to go. We need to go." All my mates was like, "No, we'll stay here. We'll stay here." And I was like, "No, we need to go. We need to go now." And then like we heard like another like move. Sort of like it sounded like something like was being dragged across the floor, and then we all looked at each other and we was like, let's go. We realised we got something going on at home. We need to get home because we're going to be in trouble otherwise, and we just ran out of there. Crazy times.
Number 13, potential taking. This one will stay with you long after you watch it. What would you do if you heard these sounds of horror in your neighborhood?
I'd think of two things. The first thing I'd be thinking, someone's watching Texas Chainsaw Massacre at a ridiculously high volume, ridiculous. Or number two, I'd be like, someone's getting murdered, someone's getting tortured, something bad's happening. I need to do something. I need to get a water pistol, get Mr. Cuddles, get your gun and get your MP3 player and let's do this. We'll play some tunes, we'll get in the groove and we'll save this woman in distress. But in reality, I'll be like, look, I'm going to hide under the bed. Mr. Cuddles, we're going to hide under the bed and we just can pretend nothing happened. Wait, what would you guys do if you heard that woman screaming like that? What would you think? Would you like to go and help? Would you try and help her? Would you find out where it is? Would you do the same as me and hide under the bed and pretend that nothing ever happened? Write your answers in the comment section below. Let's continue watching.
A Ring doorbell caught this scene, considered a potential taking in the Los Angeles neighborhood of Leimert Park in November of 2019. The footage shows a vehicle pass by, and from the vehicle, screams are heard as a woman pleads for help from those outside.
Witnesses say that the getaway car was a small white hatchback.
After a potential taking was reported, this Ring doorbell footage prompted an investigation into the incident. Los Angeles Police Department officer Mike Lopez said that police who responded to the call at first found no evidence of a taking. However, this disturbing footage seems to point in that direction. The woman is crying and screaming for someone to help, repeatedly pleading for over a half a minute as the vehicle passes by at around 11 p.m. When the owners of the Ring doorbell hear this, they're seen on their doorstep, looking to see what's going on. KTLA reports that a witness on the scene claims she heard a man's voice as well saying, "I'm sorry." He was pictured pulling the braided hair of the woman in the passenger seat. The vehicle then sped from the neighborhood with its rear hatch open. After the LAPD was provided the doorbell footage, they reopened the investigation and canvassed the neighborhood for clues. But as of the end of November, there have been no leads. As reported by Mercury News, let's hope this woman is found soon.
Like at first, I just thought like, because then I seen the car and I just assumed someone had like trying to prank people and like put on this loud screaming effect. But then like when he played the video back in slow mo, it was like I then seen the boot opened and then they said like they seen some guy pulling a woman's hair in the car, and I'm thinking, whoa, maybe that was some sort of kidnapping or something, or maybe that wasn't anything that bad. Maybe it was a overprotective brother or something saying, no, you're not going to this man's house, you're coming with me, or something like that. I don't know. What do you guys think about the situation?
12. Shadow figure. You know that feeling like you're being watched? Well, maybe you are. This YouTuber says that demonic activity in his home has risen to reoccurrences every 3 to 4 days. He writes, "The demon shadow figure was at the foot of my bed when I woke up, probably watching my dog and I for 8 to 9 minutes, then fled down the hallway and caught a black mass materializing by the door and moving towards my bedroom. And then in the lower right hand side of the video, you can see it leaving, resulting in me and my dog visibly shaken. The clip does indeed appear to show a shadow figure seeming to materialize on the wall. Whether it's demonic or not is debatable. It doesn't appear to cause any evil, although perhaps the feeling of it was insidious. The man's dog certainly looks scared enough. What do you think this shadow being wants? Could it just be a friendly ghost?" Number 11.
I don't know. I couldn't really see much. I saw like a glimpse of like a bit of moving shade. So that could be, yeah, perhaps that's what it is. It's like a friendly entity. It's just there for like 8 or 9 minutes. Like, doesn't seem like it's doing any harm. So possibly that's what it is. Possibly it was just checking on a dog and a human, seeing how they are. Maybe it's a past relative or something. But I don't know. Like, I feel myself personally, when I've been around entities, like there's 2 types of feelings you can get. There's one feeling which is like proper shaken up, like something bad's gonna happen, or number two, you feel quite calm and quite happy. So I don't know. Maybe this energy was a dark energy. I really don't know. What do you guys think the energy was? Do you think it was dark? Do you think it was good? Do you think the dog and the owner got the wrong end of the stick? I don't know. You tell me in the comment section below.
Emergency. If you've ever been in an abandoned building under a state of emergency, you know how alone this man feels. With just over 28,300 views, this video titled Emergency.mp4 was published in March
It
of
reminds me of 28 Days Later when he wakes up in a hospital and there's no one there, and it's just like all freaky, man. I'd be freaking out if that was me and there was no one else there. I'd be like, what do I do? What do I do? Jump out the window? No, it's too dark. It's too high. What do I do? Get all the mattresses, yeet them out the window, and then jump out. Possibly. Well, I like to think so anyway.
2016 by YouTuber Paul Cyrek. His description reads, I was at hospital and woke up. Everyone left, but I found one still there after camera battery died. The hospital in the video does indeed look abandoned, making the emergency sound and eerie flashing lights all the more terrifying. For some reason, with no one else fleeing the scene alongside you, fear is heightened, heavy breathing and heavy sighs are heard through the camera. The cameraman passes through the hospital, down a hallway, through a door around a corner, and another door and hallway. No one is there, leaving us to wonder who exactly this man found after the camera battery died. David Roman says he used to work hospital security and that he thinks this is a security guard during a fire drill, but he suggests that patients weren't evacuated for the drill. Rather, it's more likely this was a closed-off wing under construction, which might explain the pallets and construction equipment spotted in the video.
That's what I thought, because I did think it was a bit weird, like how, like, the guy wakes up in a hospital and nobody's there. It just seems a bit weird, like, how can no one be there? Like, that would be, if that was real, that'd be eerie as hell. But yeah, like, you'll never find that. You never really find that unless it's in like some sort of movie, like someone wakes up and there's like no one about. I don't know. Possibly it was right then. It was just an empty wing that, I don't know, matey boy just got the chills or something. I really don't know.
Something that wouldn't be found in patient areas.
Yeah.
Seems like a valid
I see the
explanation.
pallets just there on the
However,
right.
it's still terrifying to think about. Number 10. Haunted closet. Closets are usually harmless, but a series posted by RadLad1 has us wondering what's on the other side of that door. According to the uploader, the closet in question hasn't been altered since he moved in, but creepy occurrences keep happening with it. In the first video, he opens the door to the small closet, which has a disused TV on the ground, several hangers, and some random stuff on the shelf, including a stuffed animal. The next video is where the creepiness comes in. You can hear the door rattling slightly, and as the dude gets closer to it to examine what's going on, it slowly opens on its own, and then jerks open before jerking shut. The spookiness continues with the next video, in which the man says he hears constant sounds coming from the closet. He approaches it again, and as he reaches towards the handle, a terrifying rattling is heard, causing him to jump and back away again. The last video culminates in probably the scariest happening. There is a knocking on the door and a rattling. It's heard plain as day. When the guy opens the door, you can see there's nothing at all inside. I think we're all thinking the same
Yeah, do you know,
thing.
I was thinking maybe he's got one of his friends behind the door, banging on the door and whatnot. But obviously he just opened the door and there was no one there. What do you guys think is going on here? Do you think this is a hoax? Do you think this guy is messing around somehow? Or do you think it's literally legit? Like, I mean, I heard his breathing. That was the first sign that I got, was like his breathing was like panting quite a lot, like he was scared. But I suppose you can act like that. What do you think? Do you write in the comment section below if you think that guy was being legit, or if you think he was just messing around to get extra views or something.
It's time to move.
It's time to
Number
move.
9. Paranormal Lodge Investigation. Some haunted places hide secrets only the afterlife knows. This video is a private investigation of the Tamaqua Elks Lodge, which occurred on Saturday, September 14th, 2019. Apparently, the Elks Lodge in the town of Tamaqua, Pennsylvania, has some haunted history. Housed in a converted apartment building, there are claims that the Elks Lodge is haunted by the ghosts of 2 people who took their own lives, who resided in the previous apartments. Some claim they've heard voices and seen poltergeist activity. When the Pocono Paranormal team investigated, they caught numerous orbs and a voice that said "love you." So what did Team SCRT find? They too captured orb and light anomalies on the scene, as well as horrifying screams on the EVP. They also captured someone saying "help me," and another said "come play." There are many unexplained sounds and a voice saying, "Martha, time to go." The spirit box also captured a voice responding, "I'm staying." But perhaps the creepiest point is the hazy, shadowy figures that appears to rise up beside one of the crew near the end of that video. Whatever is going on in this lodge is not something you'd want to face in the light of day.
No. I'd face it in the light of day, but not in the light of night. Definitely not. At night time, it's gonna be even more scarier.
8. Mother Nature. This video will deter you from ever wanting to become
Mother
a sailor.
Nature is so scary. I'm so terrified of flowers and plants and trees and nature. Ugh, the thought of it just gives me the chills.
The video shows a large ship on a stormy sea. From the top of the deck, massive waves swell around the ship, while the darkening sky overhead casts an even grimmier scene. The waves are so turbulent that they appear to be climbing the edge of the boat. In fact, water splashes onto the deck, the ocean spray bursting up like a geyser at the helm. There's something quietly frightening about this video. The anger and unpredictability of nature and the helplessness of being in the middle of it, tossed about by the sea. Some in the comments find it beautiful, and it is in a way, but others rightfully find it terrifying. With Redditor Buttered Muffin Toots writing, "I got seasick just watching this. Whether you find this more beautiful or fearful, one thing's for sure. You'll be 100% grateful that your feet are planted firmly on land." Number 7.
What do you guys think about that video? Do you think it was it was beautiful? Do you think it was beautiful? Would you be, if you was there, would you be like, "Oh wow, this is amazing"? Or would you be like, I'm gonna need to hold my breath in 3, 2, 1. Let me know in the comment section what you guys think.
It's in the room. Kicking back with your friends should be carefree. What happens when something strange occurs? A bin falls or a door clatters shut without explanation. If it happens once, then you can pass it off as just an oddity. But when it
You know what that was, don't you? He was on his phone playing Candy Crush, and the entity was there telling him, "No, you need to get on with your homework, mate. This is what you need to be doing."
Repeatedly, it's not coincidental. You may have something paranormal on your hands. This video was posted by Creepy7 Paranormal and shows 3 guys just hanging out, lying on the floor of their room on their phones, when something flies off the corner filing cabinet, startling the 3 and causing the sleeping dude to sit up, while the item, which looks like a roll of paper, could have simply fallen from a precarious position on the cabinet. What happens next makes you think again. A larger roll of paper leaning up against a standing cupboard flips onto the floor. There's no way that this one could have fallen on its own, as it didn't fall in a natural manner. It would have had to have been lifted and tossed over. Whatever is in this room finally has all 3 boys' attention. They all sat up, with one covering his head with a blanket and the other staring in fear at the corner where the commotion is coming from. The thing is not finished. The top file cabinet drawer opens wide, and a cupboard box on the floor lifts off the ground, levitating momentarily. This causes the boys to flee, and as they do, 2 more giant rolls of paper fall to the ground. Redditor Crimson Cario writes, "What's more terrifying is
Bloody hell, yeah. The most terrifying bit there was that when the box like levitated a bit, I would have been as soon as I seen that, I would have done the same. I'd be like, right, I'm gone. Don't leave the phones there, leave the charger there, leave anything else there. Let's go. I haven't got my socks on. That's fine. Let's go.
fact that these grown-up men went screaming out the room, showing how scary it must have been. While Adrian the goat adds, "It's stuff like this that keeps me up at night. You're not alone, goat." Number 6, in the hallway. If you've ever heard someone crying and you went to investigate, this video will make you consider the possibility that the sound is from the beyond. Posted by YouTuber Cluffo, the footage shows a man hearing a ghost girl's cry.
Did you hear that?
When he goes to investigate, walking slowly through his room to the door, he opens it to find a huddled mass in the hallway. It's hard to tell in this footage what it could be, but we'll assume for the sake of argument that it's a ghost end of the hallway in a still and strained position.
What? That is so freaky. Just by looking at that, you can see like the outline is actually a person, and how the person was just like sat on the floor. Like, it kind of reminds me of have you ever played Left 4 Dead, and you see like the witches are like curled down, and then they just get up and start going crazy like ah. Kind of reminds me of that. But that would have been so freaky, man. Like, if this guy was on his own as well, like I would have been so freaked out. I would have been like, I need my friends here or something. What do you guys think about that woman, or do you think it's just camera effects, a hoax? What do you guys think? Let me know in your answers in the comment section below.
Once he realizes what he's seeing, he shuts the door quickly in fear. Those in the comments of this video feel the same way. 50 Shades of Fierce writes, "Scariest thing I've ever seen. After the 100th time, it still gives me goosebumps. Goosebumps in a near stop of the heart." Number 5, a hand emerges. When a hand emerges from nowhere, you begin to think you're seeing things, especially if it's disembodied. Posted to Reddit by Sightcurfer. This one will make you feel like you're being touched. Sightcurfer writes, "During a paranormal investigation of a hobby group, a hand emerges from nowhere and disappears again. Group still doesn't know where the hand came from after 6 years. Originally posted in July of 2014, the German private investigator is seen with his crew in a darkened room. They're all facing one way in what appears to be a hallway, likely getting ready to enter another room in the space they're investigating. Pretty normal, that is, until a hand appears out of the bottom left side of the screen, as though to pat one of the crew on the back. It flits on screen for a moment, while the crew remains unaware, before disappearing again in an instant." In the comments, Redditor RWP80 says that it looks human but with a finger missing. Another says it looks like an animal hand, maybe that of a raccoon, but it doesn't seem animal at all to me. It looks indeed human. Who was in the room that night with these investigators, and what did they want?
Yeah, that is definitely not a raccoon hand. It does look like there's a finger missing. Perhaps it's some sort of alien. But if it was an alien, surely people would have seen. This guy, for instance, if that was me, he must be like a militant guy or something, because if that was me, I'd be freaking out. I'd be like, look, it was nice to meet you, Chewbacca. I need to go. I need to get out of here.
Only the disembodied hand knows. Number 4, Phantom Menace.
No,
Have you ever seen a ghost video that looks 100% authentic? Posted by YouTuber Faden. This short clip will have you questioning everything. The video shows some ghost investigators entering a darkened room, searching it with 2 flashlight beams. One tells the other to cover his back while welding the camera. The sight zooms around all corners of the room, including the ceiling, the floor, the walls. In one corner next to what appears to be a wardrobe, the camera zooms in to capture something strange down on the floor. But just when you think whatever that thing is might somehow be the titular ghost, a creaking sound causes the cameraman to pull back, and what he captures is terrifying. Where moments before there was nothing, now a tall, vague figure looms. It's hard to see the thing's distinct characteristics as the camera lurches in fear before the 2 guys race for their lives down the stairs, but whatever it is certainly gets your heart racing. After saying she believes this video is authentic, Enigma states in the comments, the doorway
Well, it was hard to see anything, to be honest.
it looks like it's standard height, and the thing looks like it's easily reaching the top. I'd even go as far to say that it's crouching slightly. So unless there's someone suffering from gigantism living in that place, it's definitely paranormal.
I never heard that word before.
What do you think? Can you explain this haunting image away? Or is it paranormal? Number 3. Missing. What do you do when your internet friend goes missing? You travel halfway across the world to find him.
Wrong, you don't. You ring him multiple times, say about 15 times. You text him about 22 times. You FaceTime him about 64 times. You WhatsApp him about 10 times. And then you freak out.
Posted to No Sleep by user Addis14. This story and the videos that accompany it are sure to keep you up at night. According to Addis, his friend is missing. 8 years ago, 7 friends met online playing video games, after which the group moved to Discord, which is a free voice and text chat app for gamers. Every person in the group was a bit of a misfit, an outsider, but none more so than a Polish man in his early 20s named Adrian. Addis describes him as having the demeanor of Forrest Gump. From the sound of things, Adrian seemed pretty harmless at first, but a month prior to this post, he began acting out and seemed a different person altogether. Addis described him as a hostile lunatic. Addis said Adrian would go on hour-long rants and insisted that the cursed woods near his home were also haunted by the CIA, who installed, quote, black sites, unquote, there. 2 weeks prior to this Reddit post, Adrian went missing. He deleted his Discord and social media accounts, and the final 2 messages the group had managed to save prior to his vanishing online were the same type of nonsense he'd been spouting for weeks. As far as they could tell, he'd gone off the grid, except for one thing, his YouTube account. This remained active. Videos began appearing on this account. The first is a video Adrian filmed walking through the woods at daylight. Nothing out of the ordinary happens in this clip. The second is more disturbing. The opening shot shows the woods at night. The shot changes to Adrian coming across a flight of stairs in the daytime covered in rubble. The stairs lead down to a room with a rusted red container with a
Yeah, it's a bit freaky that, like, what's going on there, do you know what I mean? Like, he says it's haunted by the CIA or whatever, or maybe something's happening, but it doesn't make sense how all his social media got deleted apart from his YouTube. Because surely if the people that set this whole thing up, they was making him wipe his social medias. His YouTube would have gone as well, surely, because that way because he been making videos, he's showing the world what's going on. No.
Camera stand pointed inside. The container looks like a bathtub of sorts. Then the shot returns to blackness, with only the edge of a wall in view. Addis goes on to say that the remaining 6 friends all assumed this was some sort of prank Adrian was pulling. He left his YouTube channel up for them to view. They were his audience. But the next 2 videos changed everything, making Addis worry for Adrian's help. In video 3, Adrian crawls through a sewer, after which he reaches a dead end.
Yeah.
The 4th video is only static. Towards the end, you can barely make out 2 men walking in the darkness, alongside the man filming, which Addis assumes is Adrian. Audio from the final video posted sounds like Morse code, along with the sounds, numbers, letters, and symbols appear in handwriting across the red screen. The group can't figure this out. Addis says that he and another of the group, Lewis, plan to travel to Poland to investigate the matter and search the woods. Each of these videos have only around 100 views, which means very few are hot on the trail of this story. So what have Redditors to offer Addis? They were able to decipher that the Morse code in the last video spells River Kwai, which could be a reference to the Thai River. Other than that, not much has been confirmed, and Addis has provided no update to this strange story. Can you solve the mystery? Number 2, mysterious package. If you ever find a mysterious package on your doorstep, here's a pro tip: don't open it. YouTuber Alaskan Diva posted.
Definitely not. Like, I know there's people that would open it. What would you guys do if you had a mystery package at your door? that you didn't order, would you think, ah, it's got my name on it, I'll open it? Or would you just be like, I'm just going to leave it there? Help, somebody, there's been a package at my door and I did not order any shoes. What would you guys do? Let me know it in the comment section below.
This clip saying it came from a doorbell camera. She writes, you can see a person leaving at the beginning of the film. Watch the lower left corner. At first I thought he left a package, but then the footage does appear to show a figure leaving the front porch area at the start of the clip. A moment later, something strange and shadow-like appears to emerge at the entryway. You can see why the person thought a mysterious package had been left for her. The item appears to be moving around slightly before it changes shape like it's inflating, slowly floating up into the air, where it hovers like a shadow figure in the blinding sunlight. Definitely creepy looking, but does this have a more logical explanation? YouTuber Jada Art in the comments suggests it's a wasp or hornet crawling on the lens. Others say it's a snail, and some say it looks like a kid crawling away at first. Bug or not, the eerie effect would certainly make you hesitant to open the front door and check what's on your doorstep. But for one, security hack. This one is insanely creepy on so many levels. 99% of people will be scared because 99% of us own electronic devices that can be hacked. This video should serve as a public warning about how vulnerable we are to such an invasion of our privacy. The video captured.
Yeah, I mean, it's so scary, like, and people underestimate like that, like people think everyone has like privacy and that, like, but like we're all being watched anyway. You know what I mean? We're all being watched on our Facebook. We're all being watched on our YouTubes. Like, we're not any of our equipment can be hacked. How do you know your equipment is not being hacked now? Checking for bugs, checking for different things. Do you know what I mean?
There's a man hacking into a home surveillance system and speaking to a girl who's watching TV in her home.
Who is that? I'm your best friend. You can do whatever you want right now. You can mess up your room, you can break your TV, you can do whatever you want.
This isn't a lone occurrence. 5 other families across various states reported similar events happening with their surveillance.
That's weird. It sounds like a teenager. You know, it kind of sounds like maybe it's her brother or something like that, or yeah, the voice is coming from somewhere else. What do you guys think? Write your answers in the comment section below.
Devices. Hackers have spoken to homeowners, even harassing them. Ring stated that neither its network nor its systems were compromised, but rather the ability to hack the system lies in users applying the same username and password across several services, or maybe just turn the cameras off. You never know who's watching.
So freaky. Well, that's all for today, guys, for the top 15 scary stories. Thank you for spending time with me and watching this with me. Any feedback would be greatly appreciated. I would appreciate if you like and subscribe, or like if you like the video and subscribe if you want to see more of these videos, and that way it will help us kick off the algorithm and reach more like-minded people who like to just watch, have fun, cuddle Mr. Cuddles and just yeet him across the room. Ow. Okay, so in 3, 2, 1, I'm gone.